UN Covenant on Crime and Punishment for Breaching P5 UNSC World Binding Laws, Economic, Social, Cultural, Civil, Political and Human Rights. The United Nations Permanent Five Allies from World War II delivered the 1945 UN Charter, 1948 UN Convention on the Crime and Punishment of Genocide, 1948 Declaration of Human Rights, 1960 Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and 1966 International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. These binding world laws were made post-World War II to build a better world. At this time there are grievous violators all over the world, and many are in full colonial mode. The UNSCP-5 fund 59% of the peacekeeping missions around the world. China won protection for civilians in armed conflict 1998. Russia in 1960 saved thousands of minority women through the abolishment of enfranchisement. Russia lead the charge on ending colonialism. France authored the Declaration of Human Rights 1948. France cemented the rights of the working class citizen. USA cemented the people, liberty, universal suffrage, and with UK rolled out the Quakers. UK pushed to feed the world, and in 1998 the P5 created the International Criminal Court. This convention is to celebrate the P5, and at the same time address the violators of international law through ICC empowerment, criminal and financial liability. Article 1. International Criminal Court empowerment must occur when UN General Assembly states are found to have gross violations of the UN Charter, the crime of genocide, children's atrocities, economic, social, cultural, civil and political rights. Further, the General Assembly states who vote on this convention understand that nations who have not ended colonialism, amended their constitution, and have in fact refused to educate their citizens must relinquish investigative rights to the ICC with a vote from the UNSC, United Nations Security Council. B. In such cases the member state will be held financially liable for all ICC costs. Costs associated with any and all investigations will be reimbursed by the convicted party/parties 100%, and all monies retrieved above that will be made payable to the victims. C. In cases where the UN member state has signed binding world laws and failed to adopt any, or all world binding law articles since the reasonable time period established, a UN state government can be prosecuted by the ICC indefinitely without a statute of limitations. Article 2. Article 2. Indigenous persons defined as people who are/were of first origin of a UN state, and are subject to absolute decolonization, as well as the law of sovereignty, self-determination, and self-government, must be settled within 12 months of all Union states who become signatory to this covenant on the day of signing. All protocols of world-binding laws listed in this introduction must be utilized by the P5, indigenous, and state citizens until constitutionalism has been codified by the citizens and indigenous peoples of the UN state together. Colonials, colonizers and governments in crown colonial architecture, who are replacing domestic populations in violation of world-binding laws are to be made liable financially and criminally by way of the UNSC and the ICC, whichever option is chosen by all P5. Domestic populations can't be violated as indigenous populations were. Indigenous governments established must not follow the colonizers' breaches. Full adherence to the world-binding laws must be educated to the indigenous populations and the UN state citizens. At no time can the UN state or its territories be torn apart or state sovereignty be usurped. All the people of the state must enter into constitutional dismemberment, design and redesign, and the P5 will finalize the terms agreed to by the parties, UN citizens of the UN state.